Pour mon premier invité, c'est une journée un peu spéciale, cette édition Paris Sciences et Lettres, puisqu'on va changer 2 fois de langue. On va passer maintenant en anglais pour accueillir mon premier invité. Donc je vais passer maintenant en anglais, j'espère que c'est bon pour vous tous. I'm going to welcome Jamie Walters. Jamie, if you can grab a mic there and you can join me on stage so we can demystify your story. Jamie Walters, who is the CEO of Calixia. You can applause. Thank you very much, Jamie, to be here with us. How does it feel to be here with us on the DEEPTECH Tour?
It's a real privilege. We've been supported by PSL and BPI since our conception. And so it's proud to be part of this community. I'm proud to be speaking to you all today. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you to be here. First, so before we go deeper into your vision of entrepreneurship and everything, we want to know first what is Calixia. Can you tell us what is the story of Calixia and what is the innovation behind that?
So Calixia is an emerging multinational deep tech company founded in 2015 out of a technological innovation arising from ESPCI PSL. And our technological innovation is a scalable, sustainable, and affordable continuous process to manufacture microcapsules. And compared to traditional batch processes, our process has unprecedented versatility. So we can encapsulate any ingredient, whether it's a vitamin, a fragrance, an enzyme, a herbicide, insecticide, or fungicide, in capsules made of any shell material. Be it biodegradable, bio-based, a shell material that can survive high temperature. So this gives us one process that can manufacture thousands of different products. So we started off in a lab formulating, then 2 people in ESPCI PSL. A few years later we were 10 people in the incubator with a pilot unit that could produce 20 tons per year. And now we have about 60 people in the company. We have 2 sites, and we have an industrial facility that can produce about 200 tons per year. And now we work with global manufacturers in agriculture, in consumer care, and in materials. And our plan for the coming years is to go from hundreds of tons to thousands of tons to tens of thousands of tons, starting in Europe, then the USA, and then Asia.
So to come back to the process, so how your approach is really innovative comparing to what is made to reduce the microplastic there.
So the traditional way of manufacturing microcapsules, without going too much into the technical details, is it's a batch process created on a single emulsion where you have a droplet of an ingredient and you have an aqueous phase. You have a polymer called melamine formaldehyde. In the aqueous phase, you change the pH, it precipitates, you increase the temperature, and you create a solid capsule that's melamine formaldehyde. And that creates, that's about a 1 billion market today for melamine formaldehyde capsules. And you have a similar process for polyurethane capsules, also about a 1 billion market today. Our process is based on a templated emulsion system. So it's a double emulsion with a photopolymerizable shell. What's unique about our process is the fact that we can template successively core to shell to continuous phase in an approach that's surfactant-free, solvent-free, and that enables us to encapsulate any core in any shell. That shell is then polymerized, and what's special about that shell is because there's no solvent in the shell, it makes it highly dense. So it has unprecedented containment, protection of ingredients, and we can tune the shell for unprecedented delivery. And that's why we work with global manufacturers today.
Okay, great. So you said that you started in the lab. So what was the moment when you were in postdoc when everything started, right?
Yeah, so it was an interesting story. So in 2013, I was a postdoc at the University of Cambridge in the UK. And I applied for a big grant to set up my own research lab. It was a 2 million grant. I managed to get Harvard and MIT involved. MIT agreed to pay half of the funds for the lab, which was fantastic. But ultimately, in 2014, I got a rejection letter saying that the project was too ambitious.
Okay.
So in 2014, I decided I'd find a new adventure, travel the world, live in another country. And so I applied for about 50 different postdocs. And that's when I met Jerome.
That's a reality.
That is a reality. And that's when I met Jerome Babette in ESPCI. And Jerome Babette told me of a project between ESPCI, PSL, Total, and Harvard University. And the goal was to create capsules for Total Energies that could resist 200 degrees C and deliver an ingredient on command, a friction modifier. And the goal was to improve engine durability and fuel economy. So I came to Paris. I thought that sounds like a great project. I worked in the lab till about 11 p.m. most nights. I'm not sure it's safe today, so not recommended for people in the audience. But it was on Rue Mouffetard at about 11 p.m., 2 days before a presentation to Total, where we came up with the eureka idea of how to template emulsions and lock it in place with stability. And we tested it with Total. It worked. Then Dave White said, can we encapsulate this material and protect it and deliver it, a catalyst? We demonstrated it worked there. And so that was April to May. By November, we demonstrated it was versatile to any ingredient, versatile to any shell, and that had huge market traction. So in November, we decided to create the company. We created the name in December, and I think we signed all the agreements in May in 2015.
Congratulations. So you came here. So how was PSL supporting you in this adventure?
Well, PSL has been there, I say, since the very beginning. So we were born in PSL. We were born in the labs of ESPCI PSL. Then we were incubated in the IPGG PSL incubator. And what PSL really gave us was not only access to great talents in terms of recruitments, not only access to great professors with great scientific knowledge, but also a really innovative startup ecosystem. So I was in the lab of Jerome Babette, who had previous successes with Capsum and Hi-Fi Bio and companies like this. But then shortly after, I met Jack Levener, who became an investor in the company in 2017. And then Jack Levener then supported the company, helped the company grow. And then I met other CEOs that were already in the ecosystem, like Fred Dom, who is the CEO of Hi-Fi Bio. He became part of Calixia as a board member. And so PSL gave us, at the start, the lab where we were born. Later, it gave us the incubator, which helped us to grow. It gave us the startup ecosystem to provide the advice and mentorship to help us to grow further. And even today we finance PhD students in PSL, and we have collaborations with many academic labs in the PSL community, which helps to take our technologies to the next level. And so I feel PSL will always be part of our home and definitely part of our legacy.
Wow. Thank you for sharing this. So I start to hear that you have a certain vision of mentoring too. So can you share a little bit about that? You were telling me that you have this story of the hero.
Yeah, so I think at the start of every, when you're talking publicly about a startup, every startup story has a hero at the center. An innovative CEO or an innovative chief product officer. And the reality is, to build a company, it takes a team. And it takes a team at the beginning, and it takes a team at every stage. And every stage of the growth might require a different team. And I feel that's the same as mentorship. That mentorship is not about having one person to mentor you, but it's about having a team to mentor. So my first mentor was Jerome Babette, who helped to advise on how to create a company, and almost gave me the permission to go. Since he'd done it in the past.
Yeah, you were needing this feeling to say, okay, I'm legit to go there, right?
Yeah, sometimes you need someone to say, okay, you can do this. I've been there before. Go. Then Jack Levener came along and taught me about how to secure IP and how to build up the contractual elements of a company. Then other entrepreneurs came along to help us to see how we can build businesses. And today we have many brilliant people like the former number two at Pernod Ricard, who advises on global expansion. And today I'd say I have 7 mentors.
Yeah.
And
still,
7.
Because sometimes people believe that then you don't need mentor anymore,
I think
right?
Jerome, I still benefit enormously from speaking to him, Jack Levin, and all the other mentors. And what I would say about mentorship is that really, a mentor is not a boss. A mentor isn't someone who you should listen to and follow 100% of the time. A mentor is there to guide you. So you learn from their experiences, you learn from their expertise, you absorb their information, you absorb the information of many mentors, and then you have to be responsible for taking that decision. You take the decision, you're then accountable and responsible for that decision. So it's not, you can't put it on somebody else at that point. You say, this is my decision, I've taken into consideration all the perspectives, I've learned from all of you, this is my intuition, this is my perspective because of this, and then you go in that direction. And then because you have accountability and because you have responsibility, you're then committed to ensuring it's a success. So I think mentorship should not be one mentor as a boss, but should be a collective that you learn from and get guidance from.
Wow, thank you. And just to clarify, so one of your first mentor was also an investor. So it's, if I'm not saying it wrong, so it's important for you that it's not, they are here not to mentor only about business, but also about expertise, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can have mentors that are external and internal. The good thing about having a mentor that is internal within the capital structure is that you both share the same goal. And there's a convergence of interests. And both of you want the success of the company, or all of you want the success of the company, because that can build a great impact on society. It can create great jobs, but it can also build a valuable and impactful company in France. So I think having a convergence of interests is not a bad thing. I think if anything, it helps to guide the advice on what you as a CEO can do to help build the value of a company.
Right. Thank you. So just because I need to ask, so why did you decide to come to France? Is there an untold story you could share with us today?
Why I decided to come to France was, I would say, Jerome Babette.
Okay.
Jerome Babette was, his enthusiasm and his experience excited me about a project where I was going to earn, I think, 4 times less than what I was getting offered to pay in the UK. And also it convinced me to take a risk as well. In the UK, I was building up a really good reputation. And I came to Paris and I became a nobody again, which kind of in a way gave me a bit of a drive to become someone. You know? That's the reason I came. But the reason I stayed was because not only the amazing ecosystem within PSL. I'm not saying that just because I'm here today, I'd say that publicly. Not only because of the amazing ecosystem of PSL, which have really supported us, as I shared, at every stage, but also because I strongly believe that the French scientists are some of the best in the world. I think the education system in France creates really technically gifted French scientists. I think France is becoming a leader globally in sustainable solutions. It's the first company or first country that is creating a law which means washing machines must be fitted with a microplastic filter. They're banning single-use plastics. France is becoming a leader in sustainable solutions. On top of that, you have incredible support from BPI, who, again, I'm not saying that because you're here today, but BPI have supported us with loans and grants, subventions, helping to build up the company. And because there is a real energy and excitement in France today about deep tech innovations, about green tech innovations, and we're proud to be part of that.
Thank you, Jamie Walters. We are proud that you're here to tell us your story. So you can applause again, Jamie. And thank you again for your story. Perfect.